Whoop, whoop. What is up, everybody? Happy Tuesday night. Happy NXT night. We here. We outside. What's up, AJ Francis? Watching NXT. Looks like we're opening up with Ava and Adam Pearce and Nick Aldis via, looks like Zoom or some kind of device, but yeah, what is up, Media M5 and Lab Rat? Hope you guys are doing good. Scott Woodford, whoop whoop. What is up? Ever blessed, yeet yeet.
Absolutely. I mean, like I said earlier, tonight is a huge night, and we're going to be changing the lives of numerous superstars. But tonight, every single match matters. Every superstar is going to be on their A game. But after Monday and Friday, I don't think it's just about who goes up to Raw.
No, I like this. This makes sense that you'd have the general managers of Raw and SmackDown interested in the NXT show and wanting to see their roster with the draft coming up. So this at least, tries to sell it. I'll give them credit for that. I like this. Man, let's come up with something creative. There's no way that Trick Williams is not winning that title match. Man, yeah, I saw that. That sucks. I thought that dude had a lot of potential. What's up, Javi Uchiha? Yes, I remember when he first came into NXT, he was doing the caveman gimmick. And then when they did the whole GameStop Dogecoin thing happened, he became rich and had kind of a character change and became a rich caveman. But didn't stop being a caveman, and I thought that was absolutely brilliant. And it's like, man, they left so much on the table with that guy. So much on the table with him. He would have been a decent IC champ. I agree. Okay, is she supposed to be like the chick from The Ring or something? Yeah, that whole thing when they brought in Ted DiBiase was them recognizing, okay, we have something on our hands here, so let's bring in someone, a legend, to help get these guys, get him and LA Knight over. It would make sense. Ted DiBiase. All right, cool. And after that, yeah, exactly. We're right in the can. Oh, this is spring breaking. Okay. I was not paying attention. So this is kind of like a big NXT show. Okay, kind of like a Clash of the Champions style. Okay. And this is the first time I've really seen NXT in a while, so I'm not really completely up to date on everything that's going on here. You guys had to forgive me. I think that's setting up the return of Bo Dallas with him doing a Bray Wyatt-esque gimmick. and him leading a faction. Exactly. You don't deserve anything. You earn what you get. Ooh, that looked nasty. This is one thing I'm seeing at least is they can at least do the basics well, but then once you get past that, that's when it starts getting scary, dangerous. Like with if you have if you in a three-way, you can get a decent 10-12 minute match out of that, doing just basic stuff and then doing character work in between. All right, that's a pretty decent spot, but it's where you go from there. I like the adaptation and picture. That's one thing that AEW did a nice job of contributing to the business, helping with coming to WWE as well.
We're gonna need like a zillion of those. 1 zillion it is. Deal for your whole body that actually works. How do they do it? Native combines the best of nature with the best of science to make a deodorant spray with naturally derived ingredients that fights odor at the source and is clinically proven to keep stank at bay all day. Right now, you can get any large pizza for just $12 from Pizza Hut. Any pizza, any crust, $12.
You should do for like the next spring break themed episode. Kind of kick it old school. Do it in like a club and have the ring out in a pool like they did at the WCW spring break episodes. Dude, that's a guy you could have made some money off of. Like, he had a character and a gimmick that he knew, he got it, and man, they left so much money on the table with that guy. So much entertaining content could have been created with him.
Start your day with Nature Made, your #1 pharmacist recommended vitamin and supplement brand. Oh man, do you stick with plump, juicy raisins or try something deliciously frosted?
Best to really chew on this one. But maybe not so loudly. More delicious ways to brand. Please. How do you start out? Take your load back. It starts touch builders, ripple action.
I do remember that. That was some of the craziest shit. Like, what are you guys thinking? Like, it's a good visual, but at the same time, logistically, it just does not work. I can see him going back to TNA. That's definitely an option for him. And again, yeah, absolutely. I hope the dude does bounce back. He's talented. He's got a lot to offer. He's got a unique gimmick and character. Why wouldn't you want to hire him? He knows how, and he clearly knows how to work. He's second generation. Yeah, I could for sure see in TNA finding a spot for him, especially if Steve Macklin ends up leaving to go join his wife in AEW. For sure. Yeah, he's got the charisma. He just needs to get the hours and the experience in. How you doing tonight, Chris Woodland? Whoop whoop. I think what they have for him coming up with what I don't know, it's too early to tell. But if everything goes off without a hitch with what they may or may not be doing with him right now and setting up for him, it very well could be a Hall of Fame worthy career. We shall see. I hope it is. And then once Bo Dallas is finally done, they can induct him and Bray together. That is 100% a possibility with Endeavor, their connections. Man, who knows who they're able to bring in. Yeah, that makes sense, but you know, I'm sure there's still some bad blood left over from their last interactions. I'd be more interested in seeing Big Vito come back to be the Don of the new FBI and TNA. Or it's like you only see him get his hands dirty when he has to, and it's a big deal. All right, I'll give him that. That was a pretty decent finish. That was a decent cheap heel finish. I like that. Oh, dude, I thought Solo is settling into his role nicely.
With the draft coming up, I'm keeping my eyes on all brands. Ladies and gentlemen, huge championship match Tuesday at Spring Breaking. And if I had to place my bet, I will put my money on
Medium 5. Here's where I see this whole thing with the bloodline heading. With Roman Reigns and Paul Heyman getting kicked out, and the new bloodline being Solo Sikoa as the new tribal chief, with Tama Tonga and Jacob Fatu behind him. Rock still being the final boss, and he was the one who pulled all those strings. And then it leads to an OG bloodline versus the new bloodline. Yep. And then you have both Usos, Paul Heyman and Roman Reigns as the baby faces against the new bloodline. Big Vito does, man. He really does.
Mr. Chase, Duke, Riley, Kalani, just we got you, girl. Just so many wonderful people making me better. It's just great. I mean, Thea, you really are lucky. You have a ton of people that have your back.
And they managed to make it work. And Cody deserves a lot of credit for that. Cody kind of helped set up Roman to be like, all right, I'm put your tee out for you, set your ball up. So when you get back, swing for that, you know. Like, you notice now all of a sudden the fans are chanting for Roman. Exactly. Now all of a sudden, Cody's now off doing his thing, and now you have this inter-story bloodline thing going on. Yeah, he had to, at the very least, have some input. At the very least. Spring breaking. Yeah, pal. That is exactly where I see this happening. I see Roman, the Usos, and Paul Heyman reuniting as the OG bloodline as baby faces against Solo Sikoa, Jacob Fatu, Tama Tonga, and The Rock. I just happen to have an off night tonight and just said, hey, let's go ahead and do it. Get everybody together and let's have a good night tonight. Whoop, whoop. Hey, man, no problem. It is enjoyable hanging out with all you guys and just hanging, chilling, and just watching some wrestling. Dude, the internet would lose its damn mind if that happened. Well, it looks like this week, depending on if Ben or Matt are not available to do so, I will gladly step up and do it once again. Yep, indeed they were. Exactly, and Cena's involvement made sense because of his storyline and angle with the bloodline. Whoop, whoop. This is true. Let's see. Man, that dude is getting so close to 50. It's ridiculous. Never thought I'd see that day. I think the reason why John Cena is not in the Hall of Fame yet is because I think they know he still got more left in the tank, so they want to wait for it's like, okay, we know he's done, then we're gonna induct him. I remember reading a report somewhere where apparently Ric Flair had said there was a plan in place where it was going to be where Randy Orton would get his 16th world title, and then he would defend it against Cena, or like somehow the title would become vacated, and then it ended up being Orton versus Cena, and then Flair would be the special guest referee to see who breaks his record. Frank's Pickle Barrel ass in the house. Whoop, whoop. How you doing, sir? There was a story I read back when what was it? When Orton first turned, like after he turned babyface from getting kicked out of Evolution, and then he turned back, healed the feud with the Undertaker, that he was originally supposed to break the Undertaker's streak, but his shoulder was hurt. They knew they couldn't capitalize on it, so they had to have Undertaker go over. But he was supposed to like break the streak and then right off of that into a world title run.
Now tonight, Trick is on the chase of his own.
That feels like it was just yesterday. With the momentum that Trick's been able to pick up these last couple months, that's truly remarkable. See, we've seen it since day one. The way that he's worked hard, the way that he's bet on himself. And tonight, Kelly, we see Trick Williams slay the dragon.
Ooh, I don't know if he can slay the dragon. But I guess if anyone can, it's Trick Willie.
That's right.
The real deal. He looks like a million.
But the saying is, whoop that trick.
Oh,
Whoop that trick.
uh-huh.
Whoop that trick.
I like it.
Whoop that trick.
Yeah.
Whoop that trick.
Okay.
Whoop that trick.
An announcement was made yesterday in partnership with UFC for the first time ever. The UFC Apex will host a WWE event. This state-of-the-art facility will be the home of NXT Battleground, our next premium live event on Sunday, June 9th. Booker, get ready because we're headed to Las Vegas.
Oh, Chucky Ducky Quack Quack.
Shucky ducky, quack quack, man. Booker's amazing. I love that dude. How awesome of a swerve would it be if on an episode of Black and White, Stevie Ray says, "Hey, I got a surprise for you, Vince." "Oh yeah, what's that?" And all of a sudden, Booker comes on. Bread and butter, yeah. Toast, love it. Jam, not so much. I believe Booker is a 2-time Hall of Famer, 1 for his solo career and 2 as part of Harlem Heat. Bam, lamb. 2-time. 2-time. Not yet. I think they're holding off on putting him in because they don't want to. Like, they didn't want to do it this year, so I think it's because they didn't want it to be like, okay, this is way too soon. Which is one of the mistakes they made with Eddie Guerrero, where they put him in like the Hall of Fame immediately after he died, and it's like, whoa, too soon. Like, let's let this sink in, and and then we'll put him in. But there's absolutely no doubt Bray Wyatt will be in the Hall of Fame at some point. There's just no way he can't be. Man, unfortunately, I do not know. It has been a long, long time since I've seen an episode of NXT. Okay, I liked this dive spot. And again, it might have been because of the way the production was done. It was done where like you saw these guys, they're clearly fighting on the outside. Nobody's paying attention to what else is going on in the ring. They're all fighting each other. And all of a sudden, this dude just comes flying in. Okay, that looked like organic and real. I liked the way that was produced and shot. Yeah, that was a waste of a talent. No way, Jose. He had a lot of shit going for him. Oh, nice. We got picture in picture going on. He should. I think he could get some mileage off his character under this new regime. If it is indeed a new regime, after all. Again, we don't know what's going on. We really, really don't. No, they did not. He was completely wasted there too. It's such a shame. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
This deal won't last long, so order any way you want now.
Man. Pizza Hut. I guess I have to imagine that you don't have a lot of good experiences with them. Personally, neither do I. Man, I remember when I used to work at Pizza Hut like 15 years ago when they first introduced the any pizza size, any toppings, up to 10 toppings or specialty for $10. Man, that was insane. I agree. Today's Pizza Hut nowhere near as good as old school, but I think they're on an upturn. I really think they're like, okay, we're on an upward trajectory. Granted, we're kind of starting out low, but we're moving up. Like, man, that OG buffet with that hot pan pizza. Oh man, you're not beating that. You're not beating that. Dude, I am 100% with you on that. Like, some of my favorite pizza places where I'm at are like these hole in the wall, like one, maybe one other location places, but usually just one. Like, that's their main place. Like, in fact, that's what I'm eating tonight. I'm eating a New York style pizza from a place that's like just right down, like a half a mile from me. It's the only location. It's a family owned restaurant. And they make such a fantastic pizza. Like, they got one, like they got like a not like an 80s and 90s jukebox in the restaurant. Let's just say that's the kind of place this is. Yes, exactly. Like, man, as much as I hate cigarettes, if you walk in there and you see like in one of those cigarette machines in there, all right, you know they're gonna make some good food. Like, your expectations just automatically increase. But yes, absolutely, the older the better. Because, man, nothing beats that. Just that. Oh, so you know that shit was passed on, and you know that shit's real.
So, did you know what Braun was going to say? Know what Braun was going to say? No chance. I have no clue what he's going to say. Before the moment, in the moment. We're lucky if whatever he says makes sense. Man! Oh, you keep rolling. This will make for some great content. From a true king to a pretender. I heard you were leaving NXT, so put together this little going away back.
Yeah, exactly. Because honestly, that's kind of one of the things where you can argue it is subjective, just depending on someone's personal taste. Like, you could have 10 different people try every single pizza place in the state, and you're going to get 10 different answers. Okay, about maybe 7 different answers of what the best pizza place is. Maybe 10, who knows?
You know this? That dude is a tool bag, and there's no way that beat is.
Like, it would not be hard to find somebody who truly, honestly believes, oh yeah, this is the best pizza place in the state. I haven't had anything better than this place. I really love this place. I come here as often as I can. You will find at least one person like that. Absolutely. I completely agree with that, Chris Winland.
You got a tender navy bean nestled in a brown sugar toast.
Oh, dude, you did get spoiled. When it comes to pizza, yeah, bro, you got absolutely spoiled. Although I will say, I will put St. Louis style up against New York style. I love New York. I think New York is fantastic. I think St. Louis is better.
The future is threatened by enemies often unpredictable.
Same here, man. Like, you got to find, because that's usually what the best places are. Is like, okay, what's the place that everybody in town says is the best? Is usually the best, and it's usually 9 times out of 10 a mom and pop hole in the wall. Emos, emos. Yes, I am an emos baby. I grew up on that, man. That's my shit. I love it. I can't get enough of it.
There's no pride and joy.
Dude, it's 100% the ingredients. Like, no joke. I used to work at an emos, and when I was making pizzas, it was like, it wasn't like those like frozen sausage crumbles for the sausage. It was like actual raw sausage. Dude, I used to be friends with this dude from Chicago who was all about the deep dish style. And I'm like, dude, this is basically a loaf of bread like soaked in sauce.
New herbal essences, sulfate free, packed with pure aloe and camellia flower oil. Your hair will love, and none of the things it won't.
That was I thought that was one of their smarter moves they made. Was like, okay, we understand people want thicker crust. Let's all from a thicker crust. Man, I could never get like the sauce on top of the cheese and toppings. I could never get that. I'm sorry, that never made any sense at all to me. Like, if other people liked it, cool. I'm happy for you. I hope you enjoy it. But for me, it just ain't for me. And funny enough, this friend he actually happened to be Sicilian. So that makes perfect sense. Snack attack. Now when it came to deep dish, I was always a fan of the Detroit style deep dish, which was kind of like an offshoot of the Chicago style. And if you want an idea of what the Detroit style deep dish is, think of like a deep dish from Little Caesars. I don't get it, man. It don't make no sense. We're actually watching a wrestling show. Oh, dude, man, you're not beating that homemade stuff from scratch. You ain't. There's no way you ain't beating that. Oh man, that sucks, dude. I am so sorry. Man, I don't. Man, I apologize. I am not understanding like the story behind this match, the stakes involved in this match. So I apologize if I don't quite understand what's going on here. If you trust God, what's meant to be is what's meant to be, and what's not meant to be is what's not meant to be. Just you gotta trust, have faith, and go with it. That is a lesson I have had to learn the hard way. I mean, it's not been a bad match. It's been pretty decent. I will say, whoever it was on that one chick said tried to trip up the other chick, but intentionally failed. Good on him, because why would he not try to do anything if she's right by him? If anything, make it look like you tried and you missed, so you protect your character. So this is supposed to be a knockoff of Hit Row.
I gave you a free road to success, a one-way ticket to the hottest attraction in NXT. I even stood behind you in hopes that one day you would break-in week 2, I'm gonna end you. Cynthia
Also, spring break-in's a 2-week deal. All right,
is not an
I'm with that.
for the debt that you will repay to me.
Being a legend gives Natalia confidence, and rightfully so. But that confidence, like Confianza, will be her downfall. If she's confident enough to think she can handle being overseas on a foreign schedule, and then waltz back into NXT, into my domain, she better think again. Natalia, come NXT Underground, you're entering my rules. You claim no one can fight like you. Now is your chance.
No, I like them incorporating like MMA elements into like specific feuds and angles. That's not a bad idea. I honestly think that that woman was just like a random friend of AJ Francis who was happened to be there that night cheering him on. And, you know, hey, you want to do something on the show? Yeah, okay. When he's knocked out, go twerk on his crotch. Okay. Yep, that's how intrigued I was by the Jordan Grace and again, I'm having trouble with Steph to Lander match. Exactly. Like Mike Smith said in Swearing It, hey, it's all content. This is honestly a privilege and a pleasure for me to be able to do this, just watch wrestling and hang out with you guys and just chit chat, man. I enjoy and love doing this.
Kellogg's Rice Krispies Treats. Connect on a sweeter level. Whoa, the new iPhone 15. With that amazing camera. I'll be sharing pics from this phone. You do not want to see yourself ski. You look like a marshmallow.
Join now. Only T-Mobile gives you 4 new iPhone 15s on us and 4 lines of unlimited for $25 a line. What a circle.
Exactly. Like, I'm trying to create like, hey, we're all just hanging out, chilling, watching this thing, and really the wrestling is more kind of the backdrop of just all of us together here hanging out and having a good time.
Now available at Walmart and DrinkCircle.com.
That's $78.29.
I've only got $50. Take out the cheese puffs and the broccoli. I mean, who likes broccoli? Here as our first duo coaches. Two, it's a lot better than one. Red letter, sweet talking. I need a partner. Unbelievable.
We get these ridiculous commercials for some of these. Just these awful mainstream shows like The Voice. Ugh. Like, how many American Idol knockoffs do we need? American Idol was big 24 years ago. Oh man, as hot as I can physically take them before it's like, okay, I'll put you this way. Hot enough I can finish one wing without needing to take a drink.
Look, Kelly, as you know, me and Ellie have a lot of history together. We've got one of the greatest rivalries in NXT. So I think I can speak with more experience than most when I tell you, if you want to beat Ilya Dragunov, you got to hospitalize.
Oof.
I'm speaking to
Thanks for the heads up, homie.
I know Trick Williams isn't that guy. I think Ilya's got a time tonight.
Thank you very much. Just kidding.
They just have JD McDonough on NXT just to like make a few words and say a few words and then walk off the camera.
My money's on Ilya. Gage is a bad man. We've both been in the ring with him, and he's absolutely solid.
Okay, it makes sense to have Tyler Bate and Pete Dunne in here talking about this match because they've been in the ring with one of the guys. So I get that. That makes sense. But like, vert to vert?
Thanks, Kelly. NXT 11 here for our championship main event as our general manager, Ava, is in the center of the ring.
I don't know if you ever tried it, but Wingstop has this one flavor called Atomic. I accidentally ordered it once. And I took one bite into it. One bite. I'm spending 5 minutes underneath my bathroom sink, my tongue out with the coldest water flowing over it. Bro, if we are in the clear for this Friday, I will send you a link and we'll make something happen. Whoop whoop. They need to bring in Ed Helms to voice him, and then we're set. Oh, sweet and spicy is always good. Bro, they ain't that Atomic, man. I also got Natalia in NXT. Honestly, you know what? That's not a bad place for her. She's pretty much done everything she can do on the main roster. So why not have her in NXT helping the younger talent, elevate them? My favorite is always buffalo, garlic parmesan, barbecue, regular barbecue, honey barbecue, spicy barbecue. It's all good. Maybe some honey chipotle, a little bit of that. Man, them surgeries, bro. Them surgeries, man, unnecessary. She was already naturally beautiful. She didn't need it. Yeah, exactly. Like, the best sauce in the world ain't gonna mask over a shit meat wing. Yeah, man, that shrinkflation, bro. Ridiculous, bro. Ridiculous, dude. Dude, who knows what's going on in Shawn Michaels' head, man?
In the division. And my training partner will make them even faster.
Dude, that angle that she had with Beth, where it's like, okay, we're getting rid of all these, like, phony ass plastic Barbie types. I thought that was a great angle, and then they completely dropped the ball on it. Dude, Beth Phoenix should have been like the next China, but they fucked that up so bad.
When it comes to fighting around here, the most dangerous woman in NXT is aligned with the baddest woman in WWE.
Cross promotion match. Baddest woman in WWE. Shayna Baszler versus baddest man in TNA. Khan. Book it, Hunter, and whoever's in charge of TNA right now. Agreed. As I think Shayna Baszler is a very valuable talent, but I think that her value is more in helping the younger talent come up and get them ready for the main roster. I definitely agree with you on Sean Spears. Ridge, I think they kind of pushed him too much too quick. Like he should have spent way more time in developmental before they brought him up to the main roster. Agreed. Yeah, exactly. I think Shayna's she's already reached her peak in the business. I think her best, role would be helping get uh new talent ready and over to go into the main roster. And that's not a bad place to be. That's job security. That's a valuable place to be. And then she retires. She gets a nice pension. She rides off into the sunset. She gets a Hall of Fame induction for all the work she did. I mean, can't ask for anything better than that. There. When I was in wrestling, there's a part where I had to confront my ego and realize, I'm not in the main event because I have a talent of being able to get new people coming in over and help elevate them to the next level. And that's a valuable position and solidifies me a spot on the show. And all of a sudden, once that's already clicking, it's like, okay, I'm cool with that. Agreed, Chris.
Clean enough for you?
Yeah. Straight, low, done. Cascade Platinum Plus. Crawl and get yourself some Golden Glove crackers.
Are you still struggling with your bra? Revolutionary support without underwire.
One of the biggest lessons, I 100% with you on that one, man. Like one of the biggest lessons I learned when it came to my ego and understanding like how to silence it for the betterment of the business and well for myself is when I was originally reffing as a way to help get me ready to start wrestling. An angle was pitched to me to be a heel ref for a heel faction, not unlike, Nick Patrick, for the NWO was. And I had turned it down because it's like, no, I have my idea of what I want to do and how I want to do it. And I'm like looking back at it, and I'm like, fuck, I should have taken, because it would have helped me out so much more and would have created a lot more entertaining content. But again, me being young and stupid and not knowing any better, I didn't know that. However, if this were, this version of me back then having that decision, I would have went a different direction.
State Farm is there. That's what I said. Neighbor. Roll that beautiful bean footage. Zero. Zilch. Nah. Podcast. The old goose egg. Pushing zero sugar and baked beans.
Wait a minute, so they're still doing the Bush's Baked Beans commercial with Duke, a dog that we saw in the 90s, who there's no way could be alive right now. Oh, there's no way, but they're obviously still trying to sell it as the original. Because they're banking on like newer viewers and newer people watching who like they've never seen a Bush's Baked Beans commercial before and they think, oh, this is the OG dog. Bruh, there is no way the OG Duke is alive. Like Bush's Baked Beans commercials were in the 90s. Show me a dog that is 25 years old. Actually, I should not say that. There have been dogs that have been 25 years old, and they've been extreme rarities. But I'm confident enough that the OG Duke was not one of those extreme rarities. Yeah, like a dog living to 18, that itself is pretty damn rare. 25, that's ridiculous. Bush's Baked Beans is Duke. It's Duke. No, them good brothers ain't so good. Damn. Spring break in week 1. Whoop, whoop. So basically, this is like a beach street fight. Dude, if you really want to go with the spring break theme with wrestling, you gotta go the OG Nitro where you actually have the ring in a pool. Exactly, lab brat. Exactly. I agree. Both these women have money on them. You just need to give them the right creative, right story development, and it's off to the races. Like, remember when they were at Club La Vila? Something tells me that 2x4 was supposed to break, but it didn't. Exactly. Make the location unique. Yeah, I remember that story, and I think both guys were hammered during that, so they're just like, "Fuck you." Now, credit where it's due. Whoever thought of doing picture in picture for commercial breaks during matches, I thought that's a brilliant idea. That's just me. That mix, that is a drink of the New Amsterdam Pink Lemonade vodka with some sun-kissed orange soda free, followed by some water.
They didn't run that fast. You need Scots turf in the rapid grass. It goes gas 2 times faster than the speed alone. Giving you a stronger law. Mill that bleed away. It's gas turf in the rapid grass today. It's guaranteed. Feed it though. Feed it. Alice loves the scent of gain so much. She wished there was a way to make it last longer. Say hello to your fairy godmother, Alice. And long-lasting Gain scent beads. Part of the irresistible scent collection from Gain.
You know the comedian Mitch Hedberg? I could easily see him telling a joke that goes like, "A drink and a chaser is like a mixed drink, but you expect your stomach to IKEA that shit."
Feeling sluggish or weighed down could be a sign that your digestive system isn't at its best. But a little Metamucil every day can help. Metamucil psyllium fiber gels to track and remove the waste.
I did hear that, and if there was one of the rare reasons I would agree with government stepping in and saying, "No, you can't do that shit." One of the like very rare occasions I would agree with it, with them stepping in. Oh, dude, blueberry muffin. Oh, those are amazing. Those are so damn tasty.
Right now, you can get any large pizza for just $12 from Pizza Hut. Any pizza, any crust. Order any way you want now.
Back live here on NXT Spring Breaking Beach Brawl in full effect between Flair and Davenport and Sol Luca, and these two have just been battering each other. Whenever you can get your hands on Flair, on the beach, that double foot stomp, and then take a look at this, as Michael Angelo would say, Cowabunga, backhanded for Sol Luca, who's now battling back against Davenport. It was Davenport.
Oh no, this foam floaty thing you're hit me with hurts so much. Ow. That's not a bad looking super kick. That second one, not so much. But here's the thing, though. The super kick has been just so badly bastardized. I can definitely see that. I can definitely see like Sean kind of having a thing of like he feels like he was replaced by that hardcore shit. Like, okay, you want hardcore shit? Here's that hardcore shit. And him not getting over it. Man, I never saw much of Chris Adams. You know what? I can definitely see that being what it was all the Mark wrestlers seeing Chris Adams do it that way, and then it just kind of leaked into and became part of the evolution of the super kick. That makes sense. That makes sense. Yeah, but okay, if Chris Adams could throw an amazing super kick, that should have been his finish. That should have been it. Okay, I know I can make this move look better than anything else I do. All right, that's my finish. And I can hit it on anyone. Yeah, even better. And that's the problem. Okay, cool. I'm glad that Chris Adams did that. I'm really glad he did. And that's the problem with, today's, modern wrestlers. They watch that and see like, oh, I'm going to add that to my arsenal. Like, no, there's a reason why that was his finish. Like, that's the reason why that was the go home. And you don't understand why. That's why you shouldn't do it. Like, I'll put it to you this way. The move I used as a finish was a move I saw Brian Danielson use in Japan as a regular move. I'm like, no, that's a cool finish. So I'm stealing that and using it as a finish. And guess what? I got it over as a finish. Like when people saw me hit it, they knew it was over.
It is not a burden. It's a weapon. It has made you stronger. It's built you for this moment in time. It's made you you, and there's only one Trick Williams. And Dragunov hasn't beaten that Trick Williams. When I won the NXT Championship, it changed my life. but I need you to give every ounce of myself to do it. Are you willing to do that? Are you willing to give that, to slay the Mad Dragon and win the NXT Championship?
I'll give Gargano his props. This is a good promo. This is a good promo. Agreed, for real. Like, those moves don't mean shit anymore. When they used to finish a match. I'm watching, like, Reliving the War, and we're at, like, late 96, early 97 WCW, WWF, and Arn Anderson, as soon as he hits the DDT, you know it's over. It's done. And now it's become just a near fall in a transition. Or a double down. What the fuck? Baron Corbin. Remember they had him force feeding dog food to Roman Reigns? My fuck, that was so bad. Dude, that's what I loved about Arn Anderson was he made you believe in every single thing he did or said. I know, man. And then his tag team partner signed with SmackDown. So where does that leave Corbin? Be right back one sec. Exactly, and that dude has so much more to offer that company. So much more. Dude, they were onto something with Baron Corbin, like as being down on his luck, nothing going his way, and he was like building to a babyface character you could get behind. And they fucked that all up like they always do. Exactly, Chris. Exactly. Fantastic character development. Basically, a self fulfilling prophecy. The more you try to avoid it, the more you fulfill it. Bingo, Media M5. Nailed it. So much material, so much you could draw from for that character. So much, but once again, they completely dropped the ball and missed the bus. Man, who would have thought that a horror movie from the late 80s about a doll that's possessed by a serial killer would have its own TV series in the middle of the 2020s? Here we are. Here we are. Um, I willingly admit I'm pretty fucked up right now, but did they just show somebody signed to an AEW contract on NXT TV? Or am I just that fucked up right now? Lab Rat, I really think like 90s was the absolute peak of um just, culture and creativity, because it has been all downhill since then. Soon as like 9/11 happened, it's just been just a downward, trajectory. For real, I'm like, wait a minute, is that really what? Like like I don't know. Yeah, I remember like the early 2000s, like they tried, but then it just like it in the end it just bombed and blew up. Keep rolling, 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 rolling. Yeah, exactly. That's when, not to get political, but that was when like the Occupy Wall Street movements and the Tea Party movement started realizing, hey, we actually have a lot more in common with each other than we do differences, and that's when the powers that be realize, oh shit, we got to find something else to split them up so they don't unite, and that's where the culture war started happening. Yeah, man, I'm with you, Chris. Like Lucha Underground could have been a game changer, if anything else, than for something like WWE or AEW to kind of leech off of and steal their ideas from, at the very least. I mean, hopefully they would have elevated and became a strong third brand, but as we know, unfortunately, that did not happen. Honestly, I see them going with whatever draws reactions and draws numbers. I mean, in AEW, Swerve Strickland, he's clearly hitting all the metrics. Crowd reaction, merch sales, numbers. I mean, right now, strike while the iron's hot, put the belt on him, get even more elevated, and run with that until that runs dry, and hopefully pass that baton to the next person, and he takes that to the next level. That's the wrestling business. That's how it goes. Yeah, the stuff I saw from Lucha from like guys with them and like presented them extremely well, but again, it was because there was the extra production and writing behind it to make sure that they looked well and they didn't look stupid or ridiculous or, you know, wrestling dumb, as I like to say. Like Lucha Underground is one of those cases where overproduction, when done well and done the right way, can actually work and make the show better. Yeah, I see that, but with again, I don't know what's going to like the future's really kind of up in the air with MLW because again, we got to remember the other thing that's at play with them is they just got 20 million from a lawsuit settlement from the WWE. I mean, that right there is enough to at least build a foundation and start building something at the very least. And that's true again, but we still have, it's basically like WWE again, like Vince, like I think Vince had put it best when he said like, okay, there's WWE, AEW, and then you got TNA, MLW, OVW, and NWA, and that's like your middle, and then you got your indies. And I think that's a good structure for now, and with the way things are, because I think it's been pretty free of regulation, and it's able to kind of flow on its own. But again, who knows what's going to happen? Hopefully, there is enough places that people can go and get work. That's the important thing. As long as there's enough places where the to satisfy the supply of talent and labor, business will be fine. We just need more places for the guys to work. That's the most important thing. I think that between MLW and WWE, I think they're just kind of ignore and just kind of focus on themselves rather than each other. I think they're just kind of forget each other exists. That's just my opinion. Right, exactly. Depending on what region of the country you were in, you didn't really have that many options, if any. I remember those. Real man of genius. No joke. There was one of those commercials where it was um like toilet paper retriever guy and the last minute guy. And there was a situation where I was sitting on the toilet. There was no toilet paper, so I had to text a coworker, "Hey man, can you bring me some toilet paper?" And then I tagged him on a Facebook post and saying, "Hey man, this one goes out to you." And then I played that song for him, and I linked that song. Oh, dude, it was like literally the epitome of that song. Like, "Hey man, I'm out of toilet paper, and you were there for me and brought me some. So here's to you. Cheers." Like, it was perfect. Oh, Empower get cash advances. Nice. And just for disclaimer, not getting paid by them, I'm just reporting on what commercial I am seeing on the television screen that I am watching right now. Like right now, I'm watching Hype for this Friday SmackDown for the contract signing of AJ Styles challenging Cody Rhodes for the title. Whoop whoop. Again, who thinks AJ Styles is winning this? Like, honestly, who thinks AJ Styles is going over in this match? This is just a match to help build Cody as a champion. That's all this is. And AJ Styles is a good worker to help get Cody over. Exactly. Filler until you have the right heel to come along, take the belt off them, and then that heel heads to their monster run. You know what? I'll give NXT credit for tonight. They're keeping their main event to like 10 minutes. Like, that's what, in my opinion, 10 to 12 minutes is what your TV main event should be. That's just my opinion. I think they're doing a good job of that. At least for this show. All right, that right there, just having Damian Priest show up and just let people know that he's there, that builds a little intrigue. So now you don't know what's going to happen. Oh yeah, the way they presented Tama Tonga was, I thought they did a fantastic job with him. He looked like someone who's violent and dangerous that only Solo Sikoa can control. And yeah, I thought they did a very, very nice job introducing him. Oh, you can tell. Oh yeah, they're rushing for time. They're rushing for time on this main event match. Like Dragunov's like blowing right through his entrance. Like yeah, like one thing a lot of people don't think about is how long entrances and introductions actually can take sometimes. Like between the introductions and entrances for both men in this match, I would say a good 4 minutes went by. Yeah, this definitely feels like a sped up match. Which, honestly, is good practice for these guys because it's kind of like, okay, guys, unfortunately, we're going to cut your time. You got to adjust on the fly. And that's actually really great training for them to have because that's what happens in the wrestling business. Like you've heard Disco talk about it multiple times before. Like I could tell you a personal story I had when I was refereeing one time. I told the guys, "Hey, take it home." Multiple times they kept getting their shit, and I looked at the timekeeper, who was also the promoter, and he's like take it home. I'm like, I'm telling them, like they keep going. Like, what do you want me to? I can't do anything else. I'm telling them, they keep going. I wonder if they're gonna go a little bit longer past time max. They're going in a commercial break, and the show's supposed to end in like less than 3 minutes. That I did not see happen. That was one thing. That was one situation I did not run into. But I will say there was one on the fly situation that I did run into where it was a match. Where it was a match where I was on a show where I was the only referee. And I did not have a chance to get with everybody in everybody's match, and so I knew like who was coming out. I knew who was going over. I did not know what the finish was. So it was like, okay, just count three, and if they don't kick out, they don't kick out. And I ended up getting lucky that night. Okay, that makes sense because they'd still be on good relationship with USA's and SmackDown's going there once their deal with Fox is up. I can see Trick Williams getting the belt here, and then Dragunov getting moved up during the draft. That's my prediction. We shall see how it goes. Agreed. This has been a pretty well put together NXT episode. You know, for NXT at least. Here come the tables. In the OG days, this is a double countout. And wow, they're already back up. Wow. Way to completely shit on how dangerous going through a table is. That's the stuff I can't stand. Like going through the announce table is supposed to be a big deal, and it turned into completely fucking nothing. Like, from what I understand, Trick is supposed to be the heel. He's close enough to the rope. Why didn't he have his foot on the rope instead of kicking out and shitting on the dude's finish? Like, those are the kind of things made me go, what the fuck's going on? Is he? Last I saw, he had stabbed his buddy in the back and Dragunov was a face. That would make the most amount of sense, Chris. Absolutely. Ah, okay. I got you. I got you. Yeah, for real. So, yeah. So now Trick's the man in NXT. Once he has it on with the belt, he's the next guy called up. And so goes the circle of WWE life. All right, so we end tonight with a new NXT champion, Tricky Trick. Giggity, giggity, whoop, whoop. Hope you guys had a great time tonight. I always enjoy hanging out with you. Hope you guys had a great time. Much love. And we will see you on the next one. Giggity, giggity, whoop, whoop. Have a great night, y'all. Make sure to check in with Big Ray and the Vet tomorrow with Next Level Review. Whoop, whoop. Much love to y'all.